Good to have you watching, everybody. Bankruptcy, according to finance guru Dave Ramsey, is often considered one of the top 5 life-altering negative events a person can experience with divorce, severe illness, disability, and the loss of a loved one. It's a new year, so how can you avoid the B word? Welcome our great friend, Chattanooga bankruptcy attorney. He's been doing this for decades. Aaron Epstein. Aaron, great to see you here.
Likewise.
Unfortunately, reading in the front page of the Chattanooga Times Free Press last week, Tennessee still leading the nation when it comes to bankruptcies. Why? Why do we have this designation? And what do we?
Why is that unfortunate? It's my question.
Well,
because I think it's really a solution. It's not a problem. You know, and there's a trend. There's fewer and fewer bankruptcies, but I think that it helps people so much. That I look at that as people taking advantage of an opportunity. You don't want to file bankruptcy, but what if you couldn't? What if you couldn't?
Interesting. But why does Tennessee lead the nation? I don't understand. Is it something in our state law, or is it the tax structure, or is it property?
Well, there's probably a number of factors. It's very easy relative to other states to garnish wages. It's easier. More expedited foreclosure type processes, and there's just a lot of opportunities that people take advantage of. Maybe it's because there's a lot of bankruptcy lawyers. I'm not sure.
Well, so oftentimes bankruptcy can be a good thing. You talk about the relief, the psychological impact that being able to file bankruptcy does for a family, and usually it's because of medical bills. It's because of an unforeseen illness. It's something that they never wanted this to happen. You see that so often.
Only 50,000 times, maybe 100,000. It's kind of like I had a client in yesterday, and she had perfect credit for her whole life, 780, whatever you want to call it, and then she had some health issues, and she now has 30 or 40 or 50,000 in medical bills, and she just looked at me and said, you know, I'm one of those people who thought I would never be in your office, but these medical bills came in a 14-day period when my insurance somehow had lapsed. And
now, can medical bills be thrown out?
Absolutely. That's probably the number one debt, other than maybe credit card debt, that is discharged in a bankruptcy.
And like you've always said, if you are planning to file bankruptcy, do not go out and run up your credit cards, because you will be responsible for a certain time period.
Yeah, not a good idea.
All right, let me go ahead and show this up on the screen. Once again, we're talking about the avoidance of bankruptcy in the new year. Negotiate your debts. Get help from family members. That is one of the toughest things that you may have to do when it comes to ego. Restructure your mortgage. Make real sacrifices. That's probably one of the hardest things you will have to do in life. But negotiate your debts. I mean, call and let your creditors know that you're trying your hardest to pay these things off.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't think it's a bad thing to do. I think the clients who have gone through that and then get to me realize that they've tried and it just didn't work out. So I probably don't see the people who can negotiate their debts. I just don't think the creditors are very flexible.
Do the creditors want a person to file bankruptcy? Is that
sometimes I wonder that maybe they do. Maybe they get to write off the debt and that's the end of it. But I would never think that they don't want the money. But sometimes I'm kind of.
Do you ever find people that ask you, look, should I just ask my parents for the money to get me out of this hole?
It happens. Any type of borrowing, whether it's your family or the bank, borrowing your way out of debt is not going to work. If it ever happens, I want to know about it. I've never seen anybody who could borrow their way out of debt. It's just counterintuitive. The next point that you had is the more interesting one about restructuring your home
sure,
loan.
Your mortgages.
Because quite often I will talk to folks and they can do more without a bankruptcy lawyer if they can get the lender, their mortgage company, to either refinance or, more importantly, modify their loan and get the payments down, because there's no bankruptcy lawyer who can change your mortgage payment. And if that's the nail in your coffin, you need to get it lowered.
So the thing that we're showing up on the screen, that is probably the most important thing. If you can restructure your mortgage, you would do so well.
Well, that's
towards getting well financially.
Well, specifically for people who are in default. You're behind months and months and months, and you can't afford, it's because you can't afford the mortgage payment. So if it's $800 a month and you're 6 months behind, that's $5,000. I can help you if you can afford that payment. But if you go do a loan modification, and it's not easy, but if you can do it, you might get that mortgage payment cut to $550, and there wouldn't be an arrearage to deal with.
Real quickly, how many missed payments for your mortgage until they will repossess your home?
Great question. There's not a rule. There's not a number. I've seen, foreclosure started at 4 months. I've seen them wait for a year. Your mileage may vary.
All right. If you'd like to get in touch with Aaron Epstein, there he is. He's right there on Cherry Street. He's been doing this forever. Check out his website. It's moneyproblems.com. You can watch some videos there. It is a very, very in-depth website with good information about bankruptcy laws. So please give him a call. Check out the website, 752-3000. Happy New Year to you, Aaron. You always make it easy to understand. And thanks so much for being on the show. 3 Plus You continues right after this.